Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today is Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022, 11/22/22. Yesterday, 11/21/22, my intuition was on point. I'm going to share a little bit with you about yesterday. So let's start around 9 a.m. I had just gotten back home from taking my son to school, and I had turned on my GhostTube app. I didn't record the session because the GhostTube isn't consistent on saying words. It's so random with the timing, just like the Spirit Talker Spirit Box. But I needed to ask questions. When I learned about Quinton Simon being found and his piece of shit mother, it's hard for me to even say that word, Leilani Simon being arrested, it was almost midnight last night. I'm going to show you proof of what I said, and I'm going to let you hear what Spirit told me by sharing clips from my security camera inside my house. You'll be able to see the date and time, and we're going to start around 9 a.m. yesterday, November 21st.
Tell me about Quinton Simon. Where is he? Try to use the Spirit Talker.
I like to talk.
I like to hear you talk. Will you talk to me?
She screams.
Who screams? Who is she? Tell me about Quinton Simon.
Tragedy.
What kind of tragedy?
A man here.
A man here? Did a man hurt Quinton Simon? My name is Mandy. Why are you here? I'm going to say the Lord's Prayer. Do you want to say it with me?
Others.
Others will say it with me. Everybody's welcome to say it with me. Here we go.
Our Father, in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive them that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Why have you come?
Why have I come? Well, I live here. I would like to know what happened to Quinton Simon in Savannah, Georgia. Can you help me?
Ground.
Ground. Is he in the ground? If he's in the ground, can you tell me where?
You're respectful.
Thank you. I try to be very respectful. As long as you respect me, I'll respect you. Thank you.
Talk.
I would like for you to talk to me. Can you please tell me about Quinton Simon? What happened to him and where is he?
Geraldine.
Who is Geraldine?
Will Leilani Simon ever come 100% clean about what happened to Quinton Simon on Wednesday, October 5th, 2022? Never? I'm not surprised. But why not? Cold. Cold what? Like she's cold? Oh, cold heart. That makes total sense. She's definitely enjoying her life free of kids, in my opinion. Madeline. I have no idea who that is. Does she know Quinton? Choose what? Choose company. Can you elaborate, please? Nah? Okay, then. Can you please tell me anything about Quinton Simon on October 5th, please? He was blue? Where was he? What caused him to be blue? Did Leilani hurt him? Attic. What's in the attic? Is there evidence up there? Is there something that will help law enforcement? What about the attic? Help me? So are you saying that the attic does have something up there that will help? Is baby Q here with me right now? I feel his energy. Oh, baby boy. You're free. What do you mean? Oh my goodness. I knew he was here. What do you mean I'm free? You're free of concern? Okay, now I'm really confused. What do you mean you're free of concern? Who is Eric? Is he involved with Quinton's disappearance? Nope. Eric is not involved. I've never heard about an Eric. Can he help us find Quinton? Part? Part what? Find part of Quinton? Oh my gosh. I want to ask again. Will Leilani Simon ever tell what happened to Quinton on October 5th? Say no. She won't tell? What did she do, allegedly, to Quinton on October 5th? Please tell me. Simple. What do you mean? Are you saying Leilani hated her son, Quinton? Oh, that's horrible. How could anyone hate a baby? Oh my gosh. I am so sorry, Quinton. I am so sorry. Why wouldn't she let him be loved with another family? If she did, oh my gosh. She was worried about how she'd appear, how she'd look to others. Shit. Wow. Can you tell me where Quinton Simon is right now, today, please? Plant? Like the landfill? That's the first thing that came to mind when I saw the word plant. In the middle of the landfill? Oil? Is he by oil? Okay, I'm going to end this session now. Thank you so much for communicating with me today. I pray they find Quinton Simon soon. He has been on my heart so heavy today. I don't know why he has, but he has. I pray Quinton Simon gets justice. He was 20 months old, and I sure hope they find him soon. I pray for the searchers who have been fishing through the landfill day after day. Extra prayers to the person or people who do locate him, because I feel like he will be found, and soon. I feel like that's why he has been so heavy on my heart today. So I just did a search on Facebook, and I searched the Chatham County Police Department, and you can see up here, it is 9:29 here. It is 9:29 a.m. I am in Indiana, so I am Eastern time. The earliest post about Leilani's arrest was 21 hours ago. It's 9:29 a.m. right now. 21 hours ago would put it on November 21st around noon. Now I'm going to show you the screenshots that I took last night. It was at 11:44 p.m. last night on the 21st. You can see right now it is 9:32 a.m. Today's the 22nd. These are the screenshots that I took. This was the very first one. This is the second one, showing her lovely mugshot there. Go to the details. 11:44 p.m. last night. This is when I first learned that Leilani was arrested and Quinton was found. Third picture, 11:44 p.m. Fifth picture, screenshot. And this is one article that I was screenshotting. And this one, 11:45 p.m. So I did not know this information yesterday morning. So a quick review. When I started doing my Spirit Box session at 9:01 a.m. on November 21st, I had no idea that Quinton Simon had been found. When I finished at 10:18 a.m., I had no idea that Quinton Simon had been found. When I did my Nechro Dice session, no idea. The press conference didn't even happen until after noon on the 21st. I didn't find out until 11:44 p.m. last night. Now let's watch the press conference as I review what the police chief and FBI agent have to say.
This afternoon, Chatham County Police Department detectives arrested 22-year-old Leilani Simon and charged her with malice murder, concealing the death of another person, false reporting, and making false statements in connection with the disappearance and death of her son, 20-month-old Quinton Simon.
Wow, so right off the bat, malice murder, concealing the death, false reporting, false statements. But I suspect that they'll add more charges because there's nothing about tampering with a deceased body or a corpse or human remains or anything along those lines. So I'm assuming that we will see more charges added on Leilani Demon Simon.
Leilani Simon is being held at the Chatham County Detention Center and is awaiting a bond hearing. We do not anticipate any other arrests in this case. She has been the sole suspect from the beginning.
So they don't anticipate arresting anybody else for Quinton's murder, but I wonder if they anticipate arresting anybody else for child endangerment, leaving the children with somebody that the court deemed unsafe. I wonder if That might be coming.
On Friday, our search teams at the Waste Management landfill found what they believed were human remains. This afternoon, the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia confirmed that they are, in fact, human remains. Additional testing, including a DNA analysis, is being conducted, and we have every reason to believe that this will confirm the remains are Quinton's.
So that means that that demon did put her own baby in a dumpster. That the police, when they said that they figured or had evidence of that she had put Quinton's body in a dumpster right before the trash truck came around to empty that dumpster, that they were right. That's exactly what that demon did to her own baby boy.
This is a heartbreaking development for everyone who loved Quinton, for the many people who came to know him after his disappearance, and for our department. When we first received the call that Quinton was missing, we were hopeful that we would find him alive and unharmed. But as we have been telling you for weeks, all of our evidence pointed to his mother being responsible for his death and disappearance, and his remains being found in the landfill. I would like to thank the many people and agencies who worked hard to ensure that Quinton was found, that he would have a proper resting place, and that justice would be served. First and foremost, I want to thank the FBI. We are incredibly grateful for their invaluable assistance. Their expertise, their manpower, resources, and guidance are unmatched and were crucial in our efforts to find Quinton. They were on the scene within 3 hours of Quinton being reported missing and have assisted with every aspect of this investigation. The resources they poured into the landfill search are extraordinary and are the reason that we were able to find Quinton. I can't thank them enough. Chatham County Police Department's Criminal Investigation Division also deserves special recognition. Their devotion to Quinton, to making sure this crime did not go unsolved, is an example of police work at its finest. Our detectives worked tirelessly and were determined to follow every lead and uncover every piece of evidence in this case. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Chatham County Sheriff's Office, and Department of Natural Resources all had officers searching the landfill alongside our officers and the FBI. The support of the Chatham County Emergency Management Agency, Chatham Emergency Services, Chatham Occupational Safety and Health, Savannah Police, and Savannah Fire also were invaluable in this massive effort. Finally, I would like to thank the many people who showed their support for our department during this incredibly difficult and important investigation. We appreciate those who kept faith in the system and waited patiently for evidence we needed to make sure Quinton has every opportunity to receive the justice he deserves.
Notice the way he worded that? I'd say he's not talking about the protesters. What do you think? He's speaking to people who understand how the justice process works, how it takes time to gather evidence. And I'll use the Darrell Brooks trial as an example. He was seen on multiple cameras, driving his 2010 Ford Escape through the parade, plowing over as many people as possible, not hitting other vehicles or lampposts, but hitting every person that he could, killing 6 people. He was charged with injuring 61 people, all caught on film. All of it, every bit of it. And he sat in jail for 10 months for the prosecution to build their case. The only reason they were able to arrest him so quickly is because of all of the surveillance video footage that they had of him. The justice process takes time. Unfortunately, it takes time. They have to have evidence. So that's what he's saying here. Thank you to those of you who understand how the justice process works. Not the protesters.
At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Will Clark, who has some comments from the FBI.
Good evening. My name is Will Clark. I'm the Senior Supervisory Resident Agent of the Savannah and Brunswick offices of the FBI. 1 month ago, we began this landfill search alongside Chatham County Police Department with one purpose in mind, and that was to find Quinton and to bring him home. On Friday, search crews from the FBI and Chatham County found what we preliminarily believe are partial remains from a human child. Those bones were immediately sent to our lab in Quantico, Virginia.
Notice he just said those bones and partial remains. Keep that in mind.
Additional testing for potential confirmation is now underway. It could be days before we have final results. What happened to this 20-month-old child is unthinkable. No child should be harmed by anyone, let alone the person in their lives that should be their protector.
Amen.
This investigation does not end here. There is more work to do. The FBI, along with our law enforcement partners, will continue to find justice for Quinton. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll appreciate that. And we'll try to answer some questions that you may have. Just be mindful that there's many we may not be able to answer, but we'll be willing to take some questions at this time. We found human remains. Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that Quinton was put in that dumpster? Do you believe that he was alive then or had died before he was in the dumpster and admitted to the landfill?
Could you? I didn't hear the first part. I'm
Do you
sorry.
believe that Quinton Simon was alive when he was in the landfill? Do you believe he died before he was put in that dumpster?
I can't answer that question.
You've charged Leilani with murder. Can you speak on whether you think it was accidental or intentional?
I can't speak to that.
Can you talk a little bit about what evidence you all confirmed or learned on Friday led you all to go ahead and make that request specifically for today versus earlier on?
Well, as we had said from the beginning with the landfill, we had every belief that Quinton was there in the landfill. Having found what we found on Friday and the preliminary findings from the FBI that we got today led us to make an arrest today. We feel that we have a very strong case. We have put thousands of hours into this, and we believed that this was the right move today to be able to do that. She doesn't deserve a Thanksgiving, quite frankly, if I can go off script a little bit. Quinton deserves that.
Amen. Oh my goodness. Exactly. I applaud everything he just said. Quinton deserves that. She doesn't deserve to have a Thanksgiving. She absolutely does not. She doesn't deserve to see the outside of a jail cell for the rest of her life, in my opinion. He said that they have a strong case. He said that they have said from the beginning that they knew or had strong evidence to show that Quinton was in that landfill. And the results that they got back today, this was Monday, the 21st, from the FBI on what they found on Friday, is why they made the arrest on Monday. So they found partial remains, which were bones, on Friday the 18th. They knew that he was in the landfill, which is why they were searching there, because the evidence pointed them there. And these officers have been doing their jobs 1,000%. They have been doing an amazing job. Way better than Hawkins County, I'll say that much for damn sure. I think for those of us who are not law enforcement, sometimes it's hard for us to understand exactly what they're saying during these press conferences, right? But I think I'm catching on a little bit here. So he stated that they found partial human remains and that they were bones, and they sent it for testing, and they got the preliminary results back on Monday, which warranted Leilani's arrest. Chief Hadley said in the beginning that the results that they got back confirmed that they were, in fact, human remains. And the FBI agent said the DNA results will take a while to come back. So the evidence that they have right now that warranted Leilani's arrest is they found bones in the landfill, and they are human. They are human child bones. And that's how they were able to arrest her, demon ass, on Monday. Obviously, had to have been hidden inside of something. So that makes me wonder, when I was doing my Nechro Dice session and I got the word blue, I wonder if he was wrapped in a blue blanket. What do you think about it? Ooh, I can't wait to read your comments. Oh my gosh.
You said that you didn't believe any other arrest would be made. Are you guys looking into Billie Jo at all?
We are not.
And there you just heard it. They are not looking into Billie Jo at all right now. But I find it hard to believe that Billie Jo isn't facing some type of charges for child endangerment by letting the children be with a parent that the court deemed unfit. I just don't see how that's possible. I don't see how she couldn't be in contempt of court or something for breaking court orders.
So you just confirm and kind of clarify that you all were looking to find some sort of remains from the body to go ahead and move forward with the arrest.
That's correct.
Chief, would the charges have been the same in this case had you not made that discovery on Friday? Say if this case had continued, the search found nothing in the landfill, would you still have been able to make a case for Quinton to have justice, or how significant was this find?
Well, it was very significant, obviously, for obvious reasons. We do believe we had a strong case otherwise, but that would have been in counsel with the Chatham County District Attorney's Office, but we believe we had a strong case otherwise.
You certainly been very personal about this, and you said at that landfill that day with the picture behind you, you said, we want to make sure we bring Quinton home and we give him a final place of rest. You wanted him to be able to make sure he wasn't in that dump. On Friday, how personal was that find for you?
Well, it was very personal, quite frankly. I mean, there's a lot of aspects to that. I mean, knowing the hard work that went into this investigation, everybody, not just Chatham County Police Department, but everybody that chipped in, the FBI, GBI, DNR, Chatham County Sheriff's Office, the civilians, you name it, from A to Z, we were 100% committed to bringing justice for Quinton and to appreciate the amount of human effort, the amount of human emotion that goes into a case like this, and to appreciate, hopefully, that this comes to a conclusion in terms of a conviction and things of that nature. You have a lot of emotions about that. You also have a lot of emotions as just a general human being, as a person who has children. You see the impact that has on people. So if you step back and take a moment to kind of absorb that, I think that if you didn't have any feelings about that, you might have to ask yourself a few questions.
I want to just quickly touch on what he just said. I think a lot of people don't realize how much effort and work and dedication goes into each case. Any case that goes to trial has a whole team of many different law enforcement agencies that work on them. Most of the time, it's not just one, where detectives and specialists and experts are doing all kinds of things, gathering evidence to make a trial. At a trial, that's where the facts come into play. They have to be able to show all the facts of the case to the jury. 12 people sit there not knowing details about a case. The prosecution's job is to lay out the case, to show all of the facts. And then the defense can choose to argue it or not. The defense doesn't have to say shit. I watched a trial one time where the defense sat there and every witness, the defense attorney would say, "No questions, Your Honor. No questions for this witness, Your Honor. No, thank you, Your Honor." They said nothing. So it's the prosecution's job to go out there in the trial, in the courtroom, and present the case to the jury. And the prosecution cannot do that if the team doesn't gather all of that evidence for them. And that is why it takes so long. And that is the justice process. So thank you to every person on the team that is helping get justice for Quinton Simon. Thank you.
Outside of the search in the landfill, the remains you guys found on Friday, was there any evidence you guys found of the searches you guys did of pool, cell phones, or computers, or anything that also led to the arrest?
I can't answer that.
Has Leilani's status as a flight risk changed, or did it change prior to the arrest?
No.
Chief, you said this is preliminary. You would assume there isn't other human remains in that landfill, but until you get fully 100% confirmed that these are Quinton's remains, what makes you confident to make the arrest today?
I can't get into the high level of detail, but just on some of the preliminary information that we got from the FBI, we have a high level of confidence that those are Quinton's remains. And we felt that we needed to make the arrest today because that was the right thing to do.
Okay, so we know the preliminary results that they got back from the FBI today validated that the remains that they found were in fact human bones. They know that the bones belong to Quinton because of the evidence that they had that led them to the landfill in the first place. So he can't get into those details, but that's the gist of it right there. They made the arrest today because it was the right thing to do, because of getting the preliminary results and Thanksgiving coming. And one other thing that I just learned, which I'm going to share with you after we finish watching this presser. Stay tuned.
When you say human remains, what kind of remains are we talking when you say human remains? Any more specific details about?
No, ma'am. Go ahead.
Chief, this case has been one that has made national news. There's been a lot of pressure against you personally with your name out of the mouth of protesters, out of the mouth of people in the community. You've gotten a lot of pressure about making this arrest. Standing here today and knowing that you have this key piece of evidence that you just said, what kind of message do you send to the community? To the people, A, that had your back that said, yes, we're going to wait on the police to do this. And then to the people who said this arrest should have happened on the case.
Well, I didn't honestly feel a lot of pressure, quite frankly, only because I believe that our investigative process, the expertise that we were seeking that was around us, having a little bit of experience, in this profession, I understood people's perspective. I understood that, some people had their own strong feelings about when an arrest should be made and things that were going on, but we stayed focused on what we know and what we know how to do. And in conjunction with the FBI, we stayed the course. And so
He didn't really feel much pressure because the protesters were standing outside of the house and not the police station. Maybe that had a little something to do with it. Oh my goodness. He didn't feel pressure because he understands the justice process, period. And I understand not understanding the justice process, because if it wasn't for covering true crime on YouTube, I wouldn't be as educated as I am. And I still have a shit ton to learn. I just know the basics, and that's it. But I do understand the justice process. And that's something that once you learn, it's like, oh, now I get it. They can't just make an arrest because of feelings, because somebody feels like somebody is guilty. They have to have facts and evidence. I was one of those same people that were like, what are you doing? Why can't you arrest those people? And then I learned. And this goes all the way back to 2020. The Cal City Boys, my very first case I covered. I've learned a lot in 2 years. A lot.
To those folks that supported us, to the citizens that believed in us and believed in our department, I thank you. And for those that had questions, that's their right to do so. This is America. You can have all the opinions you want, but I'm just so proud of our team and where we're at today.
As far as today's conclusion, do you feel like there's a sense of relief as far as you all, officers, FBI agents, to come to an arrest and go ahead and move forward with this case?
Sure there is. I wouldn't be honest if I didn't say that there was, some weight lifted off of the organization and particularly those detectives and investigators who were completely and 100% committed to seeking justice for Quinton. So there is a little bit of relief, but be mindful there's still a lot of work to do, and they're dedicated to doing that, and we want to see this to successful prosecution.
I got it, is the landfill search over?
We haven't made that decision yet. That's a decision point that we'll come to once we're able to get some more analysis done, and we'll confer with the FBI and see what the best course of action is.
And Leilani is also charged with making false statements. What false statements did she make?
I can't get into that.
Is she cooperating with police right now? Is Leilani cooperating with police?
She's at the Chatham County Detention Center right now.
And so I want to go back to the initial question that I asked about whether or not you guys found bones in the landfill, because the detectives said bones, and you said you were
Well, human remains, some of that are some of them are human bones, and some other evidentiary matters.
As far as the bond, is there do you all have any updates as to when that will be the bond hearing? When that will be?
I do not have that confirmed. I do believe it'll take place tomorrow, but I don't have any time or any confirmation on that. We did, take her to the detention center rather late in the day, so I'm sure that information will come out pretty quickly.
Leilani made a statement to me that she would turn herself in. Was there any talk of giving her that opportunity?
No.
Chief, you said in the beginning that when we're at the landfill, you said that there was a very specific dumpster that this child was put in. Can you just give us the location of that? How far this was from the house where Quinton was last seen?
I can't give you that information.
I have one more question. Can you just give
Last
us
question.
An estimate on how long this analysis could take?
It could take up to a week. And I have one last comment, and I want to thank you guys. Because just like sometimes law enforcement gets the short end of the stick, you guys get the short end of the stick too. And you guys have been amazing, our local media throughout this. You've been fair, you've been direct, you've asked good questions, and you've, given us some deference when we needed some deference. And so I just wanted to say thank you for your work that you do every day. Thank you.
I have to say, I think that was one of the best press conferences that I've ever seen. Chief Hadley did an amazing job. I truly appreciate him thanking the media, and you could tell he was so heartfelt. He even got teary-eyed a few times during the conference. I absolutely believe that he has put his whole heart into finding Quinton and getting justice. Now I have one more clip that I'm going to play for you, one more recording, and it is also from today, November 22nd. It is the phone call that Billie Jo made to Cher when Cher was live, where Billie Jo explains exactly what happened when Leilani got arrested yesterday. And I actually found it on Perplexed QT's channel. So buckle up. Here we go.
Wrong. You're still wrong. The police said no other arrests will be made. So, as you know, hold up, wait a minute.
Today's Tuesday, the 22nd. And I want to get this video made and out to you guys. This video showed up in my recommended of another video that I was watching. I wanted to see if she shared the press conference from the Chatham County Police Department, and she did. So I was able to get that from this video right here. And then it kept playing while I was doing other things, and I heard Cher's voice. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. A statement from Billie Jo? I gotta hear this. I started to listen, but then I decided I wanted to listen while I was recording. So we're going to listen to it together. So this is Perplex QT. She is playing Voices Behind the Wall. She's playing Cher's video. And I have not watched video from Cher, from Bullhorn Betty, from Benny Keys, nobody about Quinton Simon. The only video that I have watched about Quinton Simon from any of these true crime creators, is I guess what they're called in this community, is the one video where they were protesting outside of Leilani and Billie Jo's house, and the spirit was seen running through the front yard. That is the only video that I have watched from any of this group of people. I haven't heard anything that Leilani said. I heard that Leilani got on there herself with Cher. I heard that Billie Jo has been on there many times. And if I'm not mistaken, Cher has a very strong dislike for the babysitter. And that upsets me because the babysitter didn't have shit to do with this. And I don't understand the hatred for the babysitter coming out and standing up for herself. When she was accused, she was almost attacked by Billie Jo. She was verbally attacked by Billie Jo. Okay, let's not mince words here. She was verbally attacked in her own home by Billie Jo. So why so much hatred has been thrown her way? I don't understand that. In my opinion, she is one person that truly tried to make Quinton happy and keep him protected. I'm not sure if Billie Jo had placement or sole custody of Quinton, but if it was placement, I understand exactly what that means, because we had placement of 2 children for 18 months. Never would I have left those 2 children with their parents unsupervised without permission from CPS. Never. We had those children because we needed to protect those children. If we didn't need to protect them, they wouldn't have been with us. They would have left them with their parents. So I do hold Billie Jo partially accountable for this, because she left Quinton with Leilani, and then Leilani was supposed to take Quinton to the babysitter. So how is that the babysitter's fault? How does the babysitter have shit to do with his death? Billie Jo was legally supposed to protect him, whether she had placement or sole custody, and she handed him over to the monster that he was taken away from. Now, I'm sure that this is very, very difficult for Billie Jo. I can't imagine the guilt that she's going to feel for the rest of her life, thinking about the what ifs. I'm sorry for her for that. And I understand she wanted her daughter to do better. But if you know that your child is not better, you don't leave children, multiple children, or even one, with them. If you really want to protect the children, you keep them safe. If you want the parents to be around, supervise it. But if it's court ordered that the parents aren't supposed to be around the children, don't have the parents around the children. Period. Judges look at facts. They don't go off of emotion. Judges are there to uphold the law, and they look at facts. So there was facts that were documented that said keep Leilani away from Quinton. And Billie Jo broke that. This situation is actually reminding me of a trial that I watched. Travis Reinking was the Waffle House shooter in 2018 in Nashville, Tennessee. He took a rifle into a Waffle House and murdered 4 people and injured multiple more. Travis had schizophrenia. Travis's father shared concerns about Travis's mental status, but then gave the rifle to Travis that he used to murder those people at Waffle House. So now Travis's father has been charged and convicted because he gave the weapon to the perpetrator that committed murders with the weapon. Similar situation. The law ordered the children away from the danger. The law ordered Billie Jo to protect the children. Billie Jo gave the children back to the perpetrator, and a murder happened. Like I said, I can't imagine the guilt that she's going to have for the rest of her life. So I pray for healing for her. Leilani can rot in hell. A slow, rotting death. To put your baby in a landfill after you kill him? That's a demon. I'm sorry, but that's a demon. I don't give a shit what happens to her. but I will pray for Billie Jo. Now let's listen to what Billie Jo wanted to tell the world, ultimately. So Cher was talking and Billie Jo called her, and so she muted and turned her camera off.
Okay, do you want me to put you on? Speakerphone? Okay, hold on. Okay.
And wait, I just noticed that at the bottom of Cher's screen, she has Billie Jo's PayPal running across the bottom of the screen. I mean, if people want to help out Billie Jo, that's on them. My fear of that would be that she's going to use that money to pay for an attorney to help her daughter, to help her murderous daughter. I truly, truly hope I'm wrong.
Billie just called me and she asked me not to mute and she asked me to put her on speaker.
We're talking online.
Okay, you're on.
All right, I want to tell everybody the event of today. Please let me tell everybody the event.
Yes, I'd rather you.
Please let me tell everybody the events of today.
Are you okay to do that?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Cher's hair looks pretty. I like the pinkish tint that it has. I haven't seen Cher in a while. Like I said, I haven't been watching her videos. I refused. I mean, I respect Cher. I've always had respect for Cher. We can agree to disagree, which we have, probably unbeknownst to her, multiple times through the Summer Walls case. I refused to watch during the Quinton Simon case. So I have not been watching Cher or Mark over the last probably 2 months. And I feel bad for that. They both look really good. And I hope that they're both doing well. I mean, it seems like they're doing well. So, okay, let's keep going.
This morning, I get up. I go to the place where I know I can drop things off to Leilani. And on my way, I grabbed a hold of the steering wheel and I prayed that Jesus would take the wheel. So after that, I get back home. I bought her some clothes and some cigarettes. I get back home. I get a call from the place that she was at telling me that Leilani has checked herself out. Well, they're wanting me to come pick her up. And I've already made it very clear that Leilani cannot.
Okay, so if she checked herself out, she was in rehab. That's where she's been.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Come back to mom.
That's exactly what I was thinking, that sounds like rehab. If she has checked herself out, or like a psychiatric facility or something. Okay, so she just said that she's made it very clear that Leilani is not allowed back at her house.
So I made a call to the FBI. Whenever I make the call to the FBI, I let them know what was happening in the current circumstances. And I called the place that she...
Yeah, it's all right. This is what it sounds like. I might be wrong, but this is what it sounds like. It sounds like she was in rehab. She then checked herself out of rehab, and Billie Jo said, "You can check yourself out of rehab, bitch, but you ain't coming to live with me." And I guess she didn't want to follow the rules that were in place for her, and that's when Billie Jo said, "You know what? Fuck that. I'm going to call the FBI and let them know what's going on." Because for all we know, and this wouldn't be the first time I've heard of this, it sounds like the police let her free if she went to rehab because they knew where she was. But she may have even been court ordered to rehab.
No.
But if you break a court ordered rehab, you're going to jail because they want to keep a hold on you. So it sounds.
No. If she broke a court ordered rehab stay, that would have been a separate charge. And to my understanding, that is not one of her charges. There was nothing about breaking a court order. So she was not court ordered into rehab. So no, I disagree 1,000% with what Laura just said here.
To me, it's exactly what happened.
No, it's not.
Was that again?
That's wrong.
There's
no way.
Some time because that's what I was asked to do. So I went and picked Leilani.
Okay, wait. The FBI asked her to stall time. The facility called and said, "Leilani just checked herself out. You need to come and get her." And Billie Jo said, "Well, Nelly, no, screw that shit. That bitch is not allowed at my house. I don't know what she's thinking." So she called the FBI and said, "Hey, she has checked herself out. What am I supposed to do about this?" So the FBI said, "Stole." I just played the presser. They said that they got information from the FBI that validated that they do believe that the remains that were found in the landfill were Quintons. I bet they put a rush on that request when they found out that she checked herself out. So I wonder what they found. Because like I said, the FBI agent specifically said bones. But then Chief Hadley said something else along with the bones. Which I'm assuming, like I said, a blanket or clothing or something that he was wearing or that he was wrapped in when he was put there. So the FBI told her, stole, keep her with you, but stole. And they were hauling ass to get those results back and get the warrant signed by the judge.
About 11:30, 11:45 today. Whenever I picked her up, I took her to get all of her belongings to another place. Whenever I left from there, I took her to Chinatown Buffet and let her have a meal because I knew already that it was going to be the last free world meal that she was going to have.
Mm-hmm.
So I leave from there and I take her to the FBI office. And I sit at the FBI office for 4 hours. And I hug her and I tell her that the best thing she can do is just be honest and tell the truth. Now, Leilani still at this time is holding to her words that she didn't do this. Now,
Of course she is.
because
Well, that
of the way I
validates.
feel and the way I believe and because of the circumstances that has happened.
Okay, wait a minute. That validates my Nechro Dice session that I did yesterday that you guys just saw earlier in this video. That validates that. My very first question was, will Leilani ever come forward and be honest and tell what happened to Quinton on October 5th? And the very first roll of the dice, it said never. She's going to stand on, I didn't do it. And if I did, I don't remember. I guarantee it. Holy shit. This is all just coming. I mean, this puzzle is just piecing together so clear. And remember, this happened yesterday. I don't know what time this phone call was, but she's running through the timeline of what happened yesterday on the 21st, the day Leilani was arrested. And I guess they found the remains on Friday the 18th. They didn't tell anybody until they arrested her on Monday, yesterday. And now it all makes sense why Quinton was so heavy on my heart yesterday. Gosh, he was so heavy on my heart. There were multiple times throughout the day that I swear I felt his energy here with me. It was almost eerie. Like I was home alone, but I felt like there was a little child running around in my house. I can't explain it. But it all makes sense now. My intuition was on point. Okay, I can't stop saying that. It amazes me that my intuition can be this on point. Whew. All right, I'm going to go back just because I was talking, and let's go back 10 seconds and listen to what she was saying.
She didn't do this. Now, because of the way I feel and the way I believe and because of the circumstances that has happened over time, I don't know that I can believe my daughter. But there is a part of me that wants to.
Well, of course,
So,
it's your
I hug
daughter.
my daughter for the last time today. For a very,
She's
very
been
long
enabled
time.
her
I
whole
hug her
life.
for the last time. And I tell her that she has got to figure out a way to take accountability for the things that have happened in her life. Not only in this situation, but in every situation over time.
That static is annoying.
And that she's going to be in a lot of dark places. And in those dark places, it's going to feel lonely, but she will be able to get through it. And that all she has to do is pray. And I hug her. And I put my hands on her arms as I back away from her. And then whenever I walked out the doors, they started reading her rights.
Okay, so wait, she told the story in the present and in the past. Did you catch that? I want to hear that again. I'm sorry. If you want to hear the whole phone call uninterrupted without my 2 cents, you can go to this video that I'm watching here on Perplexed, or you can go to Voices Behind the Wall. I review videos if I play videos. I hardly ever play them straight through without my commentary. I know that pisses people off sometimes, but if you're here to see a video that was on a different channel without my interruption, without my babbling, then you need to go watch it on that channel, because this is my channel and I babble. Okay. Let's listen. Listen to how she words that.
Over time. And that she's going to be in a lot of dark places. And in those dark places, it's going to feel lonely, but she will be able to get through it. And that all she has to do is pray. And I hug her.
And I hug her, not I hugged her. Now, the only reason why this stands out to me is because I remember law enforcement, body language readers, verbiage, is very important when somebody is telling a story. And when they talk in the present about a past situation, or when they go back and forth between past and present, it takes me back, all the way back to the Amari Nicholson case from Las Vegas, Nevada. How many of my OGs remember Amari Nicholson? That was my second case that I covered on my channel. Terrell Rhodes was Amari's mother's pimp, boyfriend, demon, monster, piece of shit. He beat that baby to death. And when he told the story, and that's exactly what it was a story, and I still 1000% believe that Taylor Nicholson is the one who came up with that damn story. And that's why Terrell couldn't tell it very well, because it wasn't his story. It was hers, in my opinion.
He was left with Terrell.
With you, okay, that's what I thought. And so, can you just explain what were you guys doing prior to, or what were you doing in the morning?
Before that occurred, we had just woke up. I had just fed him breakfast, and I was in the room on my phone at this time, laying down. He's in there playing with his toys, and all of a sudden there's a knock on the door, and it was a woman saying that she was her baby daddy's sister.
Mm-hmm.
And she said she was there to pick up my stepson.
Uh-huh. And did you know her? Had you know her?
I'd never seen any sides of her baby daddy's family.
So you didn't know this woman. So then what happened?
So then I go to proceed to, okay, I'm going to pack him a bag up, pack some of his belongings up, and when that happens, I turn around to call her to tell her if this are this true, was this really prearranged?
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm doing that, she says she don't need anything from my stepson. They got everything they need for him, and basically just took off.
But Taylor is still somehow walking free. Terrell's in jail. Thank God. Like, his wording was outrageous. But he spoke in present and past, and that's exactly what this reminds me of. I told her, blah, 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 and I hug her. So we go from past to present. Okay, we're going to see if we can listen to this up until she walks out the FBI door, and listen to how many past and present switches there are.
But she will be able to get through it. And that all she has to do is pray. And I hug her. And I put my hands on her arms as I back away from her. And then whenever I walked out the doors, they started reading her rights. And
she didn't say I hugged her. And I moved my hands down her arms as I backed away. She spoke as if she was in the present tense. The presence, like it was happening right there. As I hug her and put my hands on her arms and back away. And then I walked out the door. So I don't know. I don't even know why that's so important to me, but that stood out to me enough to babble on for this long about it. It feels like something is off with that. What did she really tell Leilani? I feel like she's hiding whatever their conversation was while they were in the FBI office for 4 hours. I feel like she's hiding that. So I don't feel like she's being honest. She may have hugged her before she left. I'm sure she did. But now I question everything that she just said.
And right after that, before I even made it home, which is not even 5 minutes down the road, it was already projected across the news that they had picked her up. And I'm very disappointed in that. Because I have been supportive as a mother, but ready for a conviction, and ready for justice, and ready for peace in my heart and peace in my home. And I have asked for them to restore my home, for it to be safe and
They
peaceful.
did. They did.
And nobody has done that. And
What?
I have complied and taken the beating from everybody for a long time.
Okay, whoa. What the really? Really? Your home was not safe when people were standing outside screaming at the top of their lungs, making physical threats. I get that. Knocking on your windows. Your home was not safe. I got that. The police did put a stop to that. They put the sign up. And people have to abide by that. They have to get a permit to stand outside of your house. So what in the hell are you talking about that your home is not safe? None of this conversation has had shit to do with Quinton yet. She hasn't even said his name. My vibes are getting worse and worse about Billie Jo. I'm telling you, something is wrong here. Something is wrong. And I know law enforcement said that they were not going to make another arrest. I don't know about that. Endangering a child is definitely an arrestable offense. Child endangerment, leaving a child with somebody you have a court order to keep the child away from, is an arrestable offense. Let's see if she says Quinton's name before she hangs up with Cher here.
That's all I got to say. I got to go. Bye.
Love you, bye.
Oh, whoa. That was it?
From everybody for a long time. That's all I got to say. I got to go. Bye.
Love you, bye.
What the actual... Oh, wow. Wow. I'm done. Not one time did she say Quinton's name. Not one single freaking time. Not one time. She said that she wants peace in her heart and peace in her home. And all she asked was for her house to be safe. And nobody has done that. And she's taken a beating. This whole conversation was all about her. She said she wanted to tell the timeline of what happened yesterday. And it started out with her asking Jesus to take the wheel. I don't like that call. I don't like that call at all. The 1.5 times that I listened to it, I don't like that call at all. And there's one part of this call that I want to listen to one more time before we end this video. We're almost done, I promise. I want to play it all the way through, and then I'm going to share with you exactly what I think about this part.
Before I even made it home, which is not even 5 minutes down the road, it was already projected across the news that they had picked her up. And I'm very disappointed in that. Because I have been supportive as a mother, but ready for a conviction. And ready for justice. And ready for peace in my heart and peace in my home. And I have asked for them to restore my home, for it to be safe and peaceful.
They did.
And nobody has done that. And
What?
I have complied and taken the beating from everybody for a long time.
Okay, we're going to run through this piece by piece and as quickly as possible. Before I even made it home, it was already projected across the news that they had picked her up, and I'm very disappointed in that, because I have been supportive as a mother, but ready for a conviction and ready for justice. So if you're ready for a conviction and justice, why are you disappointed in the news announcing to the public that charges were filed on the person that the police believe murdered your grandbaby? And ready for peace in my heart and peace in my home. Who have you asked? And why is it anyone else's responsibility to restore peace in your home? Your grandbaby was allegedly murdered in that home. Let that sink in. Then we go back to, quote, and I have asked for them to restore my home for it to be safe and peaceful, and nobody has done that. I've already said what my thoughts are on this part. And she wraps it up with, I have complied and taken a beating from everybody for a long time. You've taken a beating? I'm really trying to be respectful here, but it seems Quinton is the one who took a beating, allegedly, in your peaceful home. I'm sorry if anyone disagrees with me here, but Billie Jo was given responsibility to protect these babies. she failed Quinton. And let's not forget, while several people were wearing hazmat suits, fishing through literal trash at the landfill, trying to mentally and emotionally prepare for if and when they found a decomposing 20-month-old baby boy, Billie Jo was treating his murderer mother, who was supposed to protect him but failed him too, to dinner and drinks at a damn resort. What do you think about that? You know, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. You are allowed to say whatever you feel in my comment section as long as you're respectful. Don't disrespect each other in the comment section. I do ask that you don't talk really bad about other creators either. You're allowed to have your opinions, but like I said, let's keep it respectful. That was a very selfish phone call. I don't like that at all. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap this all up now. I have kept you for way too long today. On Monday morning around 9 a.m. on November 21st, my intuition was so on point. I did 3 different sessions communicating with Spirit before noon. It was announced Leilani was arrested Monday afternoon sometime, but I found out at 11:44 p.m. I wanted to hear something from Billie Jo, but I don't like the feeling that I got about her while listening to that very short phone call. In my opinion, Billie Jo knows what Leilani did to Quinton Simon on October 5th. I think that might be just what they discussed when they were at the FBI office for 4 hours. I may be wrong, but I'm going with my intuition. I also did a reading Monday afternoon that I haven't shared yet, so I'm working on a video to share that. My cards are always on point, so you won't want to miss that, I promise. So make sure you're subscribed, ring-a-ding the bell, go ahead and smooch the thumbs up, and until next time, I love you bunches.